Hello students, I am Omkar Deshpande. In the previous class, we have started with the topic organization. We have covered meaning, importance, organization structure, types of organization structure, and also we have started with the formal and informal organization. In that, merits and demerits, both the things which we have covered it. So now we will go to the informal organization, features of it. So when you see the features of informal organization, the first feature says an informal organization originates from within a formal organization as a result of personal interaction among employees. When you see the formal organization, there will be prescribed rules and regulation followed. According to that, they follow in the formal. But when it comes to informal organization, there is no prescribed rules and regulation. According to the convenient and their understandability, they started working it out. Now when it comes to the informal organization, it is purely extracted from the formal organization. The only things about personal interactions will be taking place when it comes to informal organization. And second feature says the standard behavior invoked from the group norms rather than the official laid down rules and regulation. Now here group of members, they are going to frame their own rules and regulations. According to that, they started working it out. Now officially what rules and regulations are being framed, that may not be followed in the informal organization. Third point, independent channels of communication without specified directions of flow of informations are developed by group members. Now whatever the communication flow will take place, it will be between among themselves. What the group of people they are been working among them, only they started communicating it. That there is no hierarchy system which is followed when it comes to the informal organization. Fourth point, it emerges spontaneously and it is not deliberately created by the management. Now informal organization, it is not created by the management, it is created by employees among themselves. Fifth point, it has no definite structure or a forms of, because it's a complex network of social relationship among members. Now this has been purely created with a social relationship. As an employee, they in a group, they maintain a social relationship, and according to that, they start working it out. Now this is not framed by the management, or it is not a definite structure which is not framed. According to their convertibility, according to their comfortability, they manage the activity. This is what about the features of informal organization. So now let us see the difference between formal organization and informal organization. Let's see the meaning. When it comes to the meaning, the structure of authority relationship created by the management. When it comes to the authority, when it comes to the meaning, in the formal organization, there is something called structure of authority, and which is framed by the management. According to that only they started working it out. But when it comes to informal organization, network of social relationship arises out of interaction among the employees. Now here the social interactions will be taking place when it comes to the informal organization. Now second one, origin. When it comes to formal organization, arises as a result of company's rules and policy. Already rules and regulation will be framed. According to that only they follow it out. But when it comes to informal organization, it arises as a result of social interaction. Now here the social interaction they will be taken place. Here there is no prescribed rules and regulation arises when they take into work into consideration. Next, third one is authority. Arises by virtue of position in management. Now when it comes to authority part, it is purely depending upon the management, how they have framed the structure. According to that they follow the rules and regulation. But when it comes to here, it arises out of personal qualities. Depending on the personal quality, they act as a leader. According to that, the authority flow and they started working it out. Now fourth point is behavior. When it comes to formal organization, it is directed by rules. Whatever rules are there, according to that they follow it out. According to that behavior, they have to be following that. But when it comes to informal organization, there is no set of behavioral pattern. Here there is no behavioral pattern is framed. According to informal organization, they according to their will and wish, they started working it out. And when it comes to flow of communication, communication takes place through scalar chain. In formal organization, it take place through chain system, like top to middle level to lower level. So like that hierarchy system they follow when they are communicating it. But when it comes to informal organization, flow of communication is not through a planned route. It is not through a planned route. It can take place in any direction. Anyway, any direction, the activity will take place. So when it comes to the nature, when it comes to formal organization, it is rigid. whereas informal organization it is flexible, it can be changed, it can be altered, but when it comes to formal organization it cannot be changed. Okay, when it comes to leadership in formal organization, managers are leader. Now here the managers are acting like a leaders, whereas the informal organization leaders may or may not be managers, they choose by any group. So this is what about the difference between formal organization and informal organization. So we'll move on to the next concept, delegation. So what is delegation now? Now delegation is refers to the downward transfer of authority from superior to subordinate. So when it comes to delegation means whatever the work is there, it is assigned from downward, like from top to middle level it goes. Okay, so on the top level they give authority for the manager to work it and to take the work from employees. So this is what about delegation. Delegation is refers to downward transfer of authority from superior to subordinate. Now according to Harman, the definition says delegation of authority mainly means the granting of authority to subordinate to operate within a prescribed limit. Now according to this definition, what it says that when it comes to delegation means it's an authority which is granting to the subordinate to take work, whatever the limits are been set, in that limit they have to take the work. In simple word, as a top level management they are giving authority power to the managers, but they will frame certain limits. Within that limits only they have to take work from the employees and they have to intimate it to top management. So this is what about the definition says. Now let us see the elements of delegation. When it comes to elements of delegation, the first one is authority. Okay, authority refers to the rights of an individual to command his subordinate and to take action within a scope of his position. Now authority refers to rights which is given by top level to middle level. For example, they can give it to the manager, they will give him according to authority will be given and some guidelines is given. According to their guidelines and the position only they have to work it and they have to take the work from the employees. The concept of authority arises from the established scalar chain which links the various job positions and the levels of an organization. Now here this concept authority flows from the scalar chain through it is been extracted and a levels is created. According to that levels the work is assigned, according to that they have to work it. Authority also refers to the right to take a decision inherited in the managerial position to tell people what to do and expect them to do it. Now when it comes to the authority, even they have right to take certain kind of decisions under what the parameters are given. In that only they have able to take a decision. They can tell the employees to what to do and they expect what them to do. So these are the things which they have the power to do. In formal organization, authority originates by virtue of an individual position and to the extent of authority is highest at a top management level and reduce the successive as we go down the corporate leader. Now here the things are what, as a authority one, as a top manager, when they have given authority for the particular person, he has a certain rights to take the work from employees and he is going to intimate it to the whatever the top level given, as how the rules are prescribed, according to that he is going to work it out. Thus authority flows from top to bottom. It always flows from top to bottom. The superior has authority over his subordinate. Now one who got authority, he will be having the powers to take work from the subordinates. This is what about the first element in delegation. Now we'll go with the second one, that is a responsibility. When you see the responsibility is the obligations of subordinate to properly perform the assigned duty. What are the role and roles are, what are the roles which is given, what the task is given, that task which I have to perform, that is what about the responsibility. It arises from superior to subordinate. When it comes to from superior, it will come to subordinate. What the task is given, the task according to that we have to perform it out. It's a relationship between the subordinate is born to perform the duty assigned to him by his superior. Now what is our superior or my senior person, what he has given me the task, I should take it as a responsibility and I should work on it and I should try to reach whatever the goals which have been set to it. Okay, thus responsibility flow upward. It always flow upward. Why? Because when superior is given to subordinate, it's a responsibility of subordinate. He should intimate it to the superior. Okay, now top level management, when they have given powers to the manager, it's a manager's responsibility that he should intimate it to top level man. That's what it flow from upward. A subordinate will always be responsible to his superior. Now, as a subordinate, he is always responsible for superior. Whatever the work is there, according to that, he has to inform to his superior. An important consideration to be kept in a view with respect to both authority and responsibility is that when an employee is given responsibility for a job, he must also be given the degree of authority necessary to carry out it. So when we have given the authority, that means he also been accepting the responsibility. Whatever the task is given, he is responsible for that, to complete it and to intimate it to his superior. Okay, so this is what about the responsibility. Next, third one is the accountability. When you see the accountability, delegation of authority undoubtedly empowers an employee to act for his superior, but the superior would still be accountable for the outcome. Now when it comes to accountability, even the same thing here. When we got authority, we have to be responsible. We also get the simultaneous responsibility, but with that responsibility also we have to be accountable for our seniors. From what the top management, what I have received it's my duty that whatever the things has happened, I need to intimate it to, I must be accountable to the top level management. So accountability implies being answerable for a final outcome. Whatever the final result happen, it's the manager's duty that he should inform to the top level management. Once the authority has been delegated and responsibility accepted, one cannot deny accountability. He cannot escape from the accountability. It's when the work is given to him, that means he must be accountable for that particular person. Okay, it cannot be delegated and flow upward. It always in the upward trend. Okay, a subordinate will be accountable to the superior for a satisfactory performance of the work. Now whatever the satisfactory of work is there, success and failure, everything will be depending upon what the task which the manager is performing it out, what authority he has took. According to that, he is the answerable, whatever good or bad, he is the answerable to the top level management. It indicates that the manager has to ensure the proper discharge of duty by his subordinate. Now he should look after the properly work which is going on in the management, with what the activity will be going on, he need to take that all the things into consideration. It is generally enforced through regular feedback on the extent of work accomplished. So he need to be a feedback which from work, once it is given, he need to take work from them and he has to be feedback to the top level management. That is what about accountability. Okay, the subordinate will also to act to inform to his seniors. Okay, his superior, he has to inform it out. So this is what about accountability. There are three elements are there, which one is authority, one who take the power to work it out, and when it comes to responsibility, even he get, because he has to take the work, whatever the limits are there, he is responsible for that particular kind of a work and he has to make inform to the top level management. That is what about accountability. So these are the three elements of delegation. Now let us see what are the difference between all these three things. If you see the differences, the first is about meaning. Now let us look at difference between authority, responsibility and accountability. First we'll see the meaning. What authority, what it says, right to command. Okay, when he has got authority means he has the right to command it. Simultaneously, if you see the responsibility, obligation to perform the assigned task, because when the task is given, he has to perform it out because he has taken that responsibility. And accountability means answerability for the outcome of the assigned task. What the task is given, for that particular task, he is the answerable for the top level management. So this is the meaning about authority, responsibility and accountability. Now next we'll see the delegation. When it comes to delegation, can be delegated. When it comes to top level management, they will delegate it to managers, so it can be delegated. When it comes to responsibility, cannot be fully delegated. One who has taken the responsibility, he cannot transfer it to some other person, he cannot transfer it to employees. Later on, he cannot tell that our employees are not working, he cannot tell like that. Once he has taken the responsibility, once he is the he is the person who has to inform to the management, so he cannot escape from the responsibility. Okay, the simultaneously even accountability cannot be delegated to all. Okay, when it comes to answerability, even manager is only a person only to answer to the top level management. Even employee can't answer, only the manager is there who has taken the authority, who has taken the responsibility on the task on it. He is the answerable for the management. So it's what about accountability. Next is the third point, origin. When it comes to origin, arises from formal position. Authority always flow from the formal position, what it is there. But when it comes to responsibility, arises from delegated authority. The one who has taken authority means equally he will be the responsible for that. And accountability arises from the responsibility. जिसको responsibility मिला है, it's his part that he should inform to the top level management. So arises from responsibility also take place in accountability. Okay, so next comes to the flow. when it comes to the flow, always flow downward. Authority always flow from downward, because top to level to middle level it comes. So that's what about authority flows from downward. When it comes to the responsibility, always flow upward, because as a manager he has to middle level, he has to inform to the top management. When it comes to accountability, always flow upward. It always upward, because the particular manager, he is answerable for the top level management. Okay, thank you.